everyone, welcome back to a new video. So today I want to do a very simple pour, which I think it's always gorgeous and always gives nice effects. So I mixed my color and I mix a coffee color. I'm using the pigment drops in blue, in yellow, in red and in black. So there's a mixing chart from Etter Art for the pigment drops, and you can mix whatever color you want to. There are like, I don't know how many examples, and you can still exceed this chart with your own colors. But I am mixing according to the chart I received with the pigment drops, and yeah, this is the color coffee, and it's a very dark brown tone, which I personally really love a lot. So I just give it into my mold. The mold I'm using here is the Cascade round mold from MoldsandShapes. It's a rather new mold and I really like it. I like those Cascade molds very, very much. So here I have now the color Almond. It's a Pearlescent mica and I mix it with some white. So these are the two colors. The white is also pigment drops from Etter Art. And I'm just pouring it on top of my coffee color. So I try to divide it as good as possible. And look at this gorgeous color. This Almond is a quite intensive mica. I was very surprised that I achieved this nice, like chocolate looking, like milk chocolate looking color together with my white. It's very beautiful. I really like it. So I just divide this and then I will be taking clear resin at the end. You see, it's a very easy pour. I didn't wait. I'm using here a medium viscosity resin. It's the Ultracast, and I'm just filling up my mold. I'm a little bit careful so I'm not overfilling my molds. You see it, I'm pouring rather slow, and this video is already speeded up a little bit, so you see that I'm not pouring very, very fast. What I forgot to do when I was pouring, that I was taking care for my edges. I can tell you this already. I forgot to take my dotting tool and go along the edges, so I had a few air bubbles, but well, these things are happening and it's all handmade. That's what I'm always saying. So we are not machineries. It just happens. So I'm still dividing my clear resin so that all the resin I have still in my big jar is gone and my resin can do its magic. I really love it when you pour on top of mica with clear resin, because it gives this awesome design. And sometimes I like this, but it doesn't stay like this because of course resin is still working. Also scratching a little bit my big container, but I mixed my resin very, very well, so there's nothing happening. I mainly mix my resin like for 4 or 5 minutes, so everything is okay. You see, I'm still dividing because there was still quite a lot of resin in my jar. Now I'm taking the torch and I can just let the resin do whatever it needs to do. For my center, I decided to use some shells. So I have these white shells and I'm just breaking them a little bit and I'm just adding them in the center of my mold, which I like very much. I really love those shells. It always gives a different design than just glitter, and this is what I love doing. So I really hope I get a nice brownish effect. Of course it will be the crackle effect, but I'm very curious about the design because there was also a lot of white together with the Almond Pearlescent mica. So dividing here my shells, breaking them up a little bit, and then I will also take some glass stones, which are like in a dark rose gold. I thought that might match very well. You see it in a second. Now I'm just pushing a little bit the shells down so that they are not on the surface of my resin piece. It always takes a little bit, so yeah, you cannot rush too much. Sometimes I'm afraid I could maybe bore you with, that I'm showing everything quite, intensively, but I think it's important for the process because some people still struggle with the crackle effect. And in fact, it's a very easy effect, very simple. You just need to have the right resin. Like I said, for this pour, I use a medium viscosity resin like the Ultracast Resin. People maybe have another resin, but please make sure you take a 2-to-1 resin and it will work perfectly. So here are my glass stones and I'm just putting them on top of my shells, which I think it's matching very well. I didn't want a too extreme contrast, like with color. I didn't want it to be too colorful because I think with the brown, I personally think it's nicer to have more calming in the center. If you know what I mean. I don't know how to really express myself at the moment. So anyway, I let it all cure and it looks very strange on that side, I need to admit. So I was a little bit afraid, but this is now, 20 hours or something later. No, 24, because the Ultracast needs 24 hours. So it's a day later in a candy mold. And they go out easily out of this mold. With the cascade molds, I'm always very careful with fire or with heat gun. So now I'm very curious what effect I have on the other side. And look at this. I love this crackle effect and I'm glad I used the shells in the center. I think it's really very, very nice. And I know it's more natural, more organic color, but I think, with a coffee mug, it's perfect. It's a perfect color. Or if you have your glass of chocolate, or even, for the males, if you have your beer, which might be a dark beer. So I'm very happy with the result and the crackle effect is perfect. Really love it. So now the next one. And voila, also here, like the color it made together with the dark coffee tone from the pigment drops. And now the last one. So there you go. I'm very happy with this pour. What I did off camera, I used my rose gold metallic mica and I just painted the edges, just the outer edges, you see it there. And I think it's perfect. It just gives this nice effect, especially with the cascade design. And I really like it. They are very simple. There's nothing spectacular, but I think sometimes the simple pours are the nicest pours. And these are the nicest design which you can take every day and which probably many, many people like. So this is one of my favorite coasters of the 4. And this is, my end video. And with this, I love and leave you. I thank you for watching and take care, guys. Take good care of yourself. Bye-bye.